Well, how about this, Laura? The Commanders and the District of Columbia agreed to build a stadium at the old RFK site. There are the new drawings of what will be as nice a stadium as there is in the National Football League. The Commanders will be returning to the site that the team played from 1961 to 1996, where it enjoyed its best success as a franchise. And when the Commanders get back to the RFK site, that'll be the ultimate sign that this franchise really is back from where it used to be. Meanwhile,
Commanders, baby, they back. Except we're not talking about their draft or any other takes because everybody just wants to talk about Shedeur Sanders. Oh, brother, I thought things were going to be different. But, you know, sometimes you just gotta pull a content out of a hat, man. So I mean, I think what the Commanders are doing, you know, I'll talk about this as a whole. I love the momentum that the Commanders have right now and everything that they're doing. Obviously, you're talking about years away, right? Would like to open a new stadium in 2030 and all of that. But I just think that the Commanders' momentum that they have is pretty exciting, considering Washington fans have just been, I don't even want to say no man's land. Like, the words that I want to use, I won't say on this channel because there's no like nice way to put it, but it was negative. It was bad, you know? The opposite of heaven. So it's just not a good place to be in. And so to see how quickly things can turn around, it's inspiring, quite frankly. It's inspiring, it's motivating. It goes to show you how quickly you can turn things around. How much, you know, how much getting the right people in the right room together matters. Hiring the right people, right ownership. And again, I mean, we can look at it from like every narrow aspect of this, right owner, right coach, right quarterback, right coaching staff in general, scouts, physical therapists. I mean, seriously, just like everything. And it's just like this team is actually a well-run franchise, which should scare other franchises, quite frankly. And you can just even see how they went about this draft. I think it was very high level, and you know, just not even just the draft, but just the whole offseason as a whole. Now, PFF gave them a B+, which I think is a little. Listen, B+ is not a bad grade for them. It's like not everything can be an A, so like I wouldn't lose too much sleep over like a B+, right? It's like if a B+ is bad but an A- is great, like you can't be, you know, that binary. But I think it's a little low. I liked you know, the tackle pick. I'm just gonna read kind of what they have right here. You know, 2-year starter for Oregon at left tackle. He allowed just 2 sacks the past 2 years, graded above the 75th percentile in all grading facets, including a 78.1 true pass set pass blocking grade in 2024. Let me see what else. He doesn't need to immediately start after the Commanders traded for Laramie Tunsil this offseason, but he could slide into guard and be very effective. And then this, I actually love. Cornerback Trey Amos brings an elite speed and strong movement skills to the Commanders' defense. Like, I've been talking so much about Dan Quinn needing to get his defensive pieces, and that's what I was so excited to see them go out there, as well as getting Lane and just trying to finally build up the guys that Dan Quinn at this point are essentially handpicking in terms of how can he build the defense that he wants to build. And I'm excited to see what this team finally can look like when we can see Dan Quinn's vision as the defensive head coach. You know, he was able to build such a powerhouse defense in Dallas. And, you know, when you combine, and say what you will about Jerry Jones and Dallas Cowboys, they know how to draft. And so when you combine a great defensive coach with someone who, or just a defensive mind in general, who's pulling some strings, who teams up with someone who also knows how to navigate a draft, because make no mistake, that is why you need a GM, right? You do need a team of people to help navigate this draft. If it was just Andy Reid, like, he's not going to be able to just knock the draft out of the park, right? Like, it's just not the way it works. Like, GMs are a great GM is worth their weight in gold. But they also need to be able to have a high level and high communication relationship with ownership and GM for that matter, right? Like it's very this trio of personalities, and so for me, it's just been the waiting game for a couple drafts, especially a draft where you don't have to waste your first overall pick on, your first pick in the draft on a quarterback, which obviously is, a heavy weighted pick, and just being able to say, okay, we got some of these key things taken care of. Let's get after them in the draft. And it's just very obvious that, one, they're prioritizing keeping Jayden Daniels upright. They got him some weapons. They're fixing the O-line. And then they want to kind of get after the defensive side, and and especially in the draft. And I just think there was no reaches. There was no like, hey, we are trying to do everything we can and go all in. We got to win the Super Bowl this coming year. We got to prove to everyone. Like there was none of that. It was just a very balanced offseason and balanced draft for the Washington Commanders. And so I just love the momentum. And it's just like, you see a story like this, and about a new stadium and what they're looking to do, and Schefter's kind of saying like, they're officially back. And I just remember it feels so full circle, because this is before Jayden Daniels even took a snap. Like I was talking to Commanders fans, like, via this channel, and I'm making videos, and I was like, oh man, it's really tough to find like real Commanders content here. And I'm like, I believe the Commanders are going to be really good, and like I can't find anything. It's like so hard to find clips on on Jayden Daniels, etc. And so many fans were like, dude, it's just like the media really wanted nothing to do with the Commanders because of all of the issues that they had with ownership and other stuff too, which we won't get into. And it was just it was just a black sheep. No one wanted to touch the Commanders. And I kept trying my best to find stuff, and like here we are now full circle, where it's just like everyone's talking about the Commanders being back and there's positivity, right? Like it's just fully turned that page, and it's awesome. I mean, it really is. And to me, it's keeping Jayden Daniels upright and having a better defense. I don't even care as much about the weapons at this point. Jayden Daniels had 75 scrambles, so 75 undesigned runs. Okay, that was almost nearly double that of none other than Lamar Jackson, right? When they can cut that in half, because make no mistake about it, like these are undesigned runs. These are kind of like, what else do I got to do something. I got to scramble. 75 is a ton. That is a lot. When you can cut that in half because you have the time in the pocket, or you can linger longer and you can use your legs, buy time, make a throw, etc. You can also have more designed runs. So less scrambles, more design runs, which then should hopefully ideally be safer, because then it's the clear objective of where you're looking to run, where you need to look for, when to get down out of bounds, right? It's just less of a freestyle aspect. You're going to keep Jayden upright. You're going to keep him healthy, not banged up. You're going to have a more threatening offense, as threatening as scrambling can feel. It's actually, when you have your offense designed around your mobility that is more intentional and less get out of jail free card, that's when you go above and beyond. That's why you see Lamar Jackson scrambles being cut, Josh Allen scrambles being cut, Patrick Mahomes' scrambles being cut, right? So that's going to be interesting. I'm excited to see that number go down. I believe it goes down. I hope it goes down. That's what I'm really looking for. Because it also becomes an interesting situation, whereas, at the very least, some of these scrambles, they just go for less yards, which again, from my viewpoint, would be a positive, because it would be kind of like Jayden Daniels just being like, I'm just going to take the 5 yards and slide and then be done with it, because we have a healthy lead. We're up by 14. Our defense is playing great. I just need to convert this first down or get positive yardage, keep the clock going, and boom, right? Not taking extra hits, making sure you're fully healthy going deep into the season. It just becomes so much more balanced from that viewpoint. And it's going to be an evolution of Jayden Daniels' game. Like, it is something that not only is this like a team effort in terms of like the O-line and whatnot, but also Jayden Daniels feeling more settled as well. I'm just excited to see that aspect because I think that unleashes a whole different aspect of his game, quite frankly. Like, remember, Lamar Jackson had almost half the amount of scrambles, but essentially almost nearly double the amount of designed run yardage. And, you know, that's just going to set you up to, again, have just a longer, healthier career and will make the defense so much more on their back foot. You can see this number 12 right here for Lamar. That's essentially designed rushing attempts that went for more than 15 yards. Again, so now that's high level offense. That's actually, it's intentional. Jayden Daniels only 4. So again, to use his running ability, to use his level of mobility, I just can't wait to see hopefully this offense evolve in a way that it becomes so much more intentional, contained in the positive way, and it also now gives more of an identity to the offense because they all know what needs to be done, right? It's less freestyle and it's more intentional. So there's an understanding of what you're looking to accomplish, and that is something that again I'm significantly looking for as well. It's very what Lamar Jackson has evolved into his career. Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen. It's just something that I think Josh Allen a little bit less because he definitely does a less designed runs, but definitely scrambles. I don't want to say in a more conservative way because he still is definitely kind of throwing his body out there, but it's just different because their run game has also been nowhere near that of Jalen Hurts or Lamar Jackson's run game because the run game is also a pretty big component of this as well. But it's fascinating when you have the speed and the quickness of Jayden Daniels. In one side, having him run less in terms of scrambling less, having him have more designed runs that put him in a position to get bigger, easier chunk plays, but also being able to get down healthy out of bounds, etc. It just tends to open up the field more because in a lot of ways when you're kind of scrambling and you're picking up big yardage gains, the defense, put it this way, if you have designed intentional runs that gash you for like 15, 20 plus yards, that is so much backbreaking because that's not freestyle. That's not like you just kind of like, evading someone who just had you by the ankle and you're able to kind of break free and then keep going. This is kind of like, no. We designed this. We set this up. We have you so confused that you have no idea that I'm about to keep this ball and go off on a 20-yard run, right? To me, when you are intentionally getting after it, it's so much more sustainable and so much more reliable. Because again, there was moments in that Eagles game that Jayden could have scrambled and it just wasn't there. Take that when you look at some of these designed runs in key moments of games, when it's part of your game plan, as long as your game plan is good enough, you can rely on it. You can build off it. It's not kind of just hoping that your quarterback like Jayden Daniels is just, again, this get out of jail free moment. And so, I just think it just makes you so much more of a formidable offensive, a formidable offensive foe, I guess is a weird way to put it, but that's the way I'm putting it. And this is really great. And I'll finish here because when you look at all the quarterbacks, when their scramble yards is more than their designed run yards, your offense is a little bit disconnected, quite frankly. Then the defense is playing pretty good, and your quarterback is kind of bailing you out a bit, but it's just not enough. And you can see Lamar Jackson, the wild card round, 25 scramble yards, 56 designed runs. Boom, they win the game. Against the Bills, where their offense was clearly disconnected and disjointed, scramble yards for Lamar, 44. Designed runs, -5. Stuck in the mud. Josh Allen in that same game, 0 scramble yards, 20 design yard runs. Very smooth. They were very much in control offensively. that entire game. Jalen Hurts against the Rams, 21 scramble yards, 49 design run yards with a huge 44-yard touchdown run. But then when you look at the Commanders and Jayden Daniels, NFC Championship game, 31 scramble yards, 17 designed run yards. When we go to the wild card round, I think it's pretty much even here. Yeah, even. 18 scramble yards, 18 design run yards. You have it so much closer or you're losing that battle. And the games are so much harder. And the one game that actually was the smoothest for them offensively against the Detroit Lions, we can get to it. It was also kind of even, but ever so slightly edged out by design runs of 26, but also, a 15-yard plus run from on a designed run. And so it's like, this is what you're looking to change right here. Okay, the scramble yards and the design runs. When your quarterback is with such a higher degree of regularity, having his scramble yards be significantly higher than his designed runs, when you are a true mobile quarterback like that, especially a gifted quarterback like that of Jayden Daniels, it's just a sign that you want your offense to be run a little bit smoother, a little bit less freestyle, a lot more on script. Again, it clarifies it so much more easily for the O-line, the running backs, the wide receivers, the coaching staff, and it makes it so much harder to defend. I mean, it really, really does. It ages better. It keeps you safer, keeps you more upright. And so that is something that I'll be really, really looking on, to see. I know this video kind of took a detour in that, but it's just something that has been on my mind. And when I see them obviously draft someone else on the O-line, it just makes me kind of think of like, what are some of the aspects of Jayden's game that will evolve, and how will this offense evolve, and how will Cliff Kingsbury continue to call this offense and design this offense. And that's one of the key top things that I'm looking for. And I'm excited to see how it kind of, unfolds. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Washington Commanders turning a new page officially? Not even turning a new page, writing a new book. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.